So before we start, we want to thank the library for having us and also the Bourne Cultural Council. We dedicate this song to a friend of ours and her dad. We used to play in this club. It was a restaurant in Gastonia, North Carolina. Yeah, it's kind of an historic town, and it's lovely in certain ways, and then kind of funky in other ways. But they had this beautiful restaurant, and the owner was this woman who actually was owned by her dad, and she ran it. And the food was fabulous, and they had a green room for the artists, and they always put us up and took really good care of us, and we loved them down there. And it turned out every time we went down south, we'd stop there and we'd stay for a while, we'd hang out with them, we'd tour around the area. It was a really nice event for us. And then her dad passed away at a time when we happened to be touring down there. And she said, we're having a memorial and we'd love for you to play a song for him. And they wanted us to do a particular song. And it wasn't a song, we were familiar with it, but we'd never done it as a band. So we had to work it up. And we don't do things the normal way. We always make it very personal. So we're working and working. We're in our hotel room, and we finally come up with something, and we know it's working, but we also know that it's short notice and we're going to forget it by the time it comes to do it. So we decided to make a little video of it so we could remember my finger positions and just how the thing went. And it came out pretty cute. And then at the end, and we're just sitting on the floor, and then at the end, the hotel cleaning crew is vacuuming, and you hear the vacuum in the background. But it came out so cute that we put it on YouTube. Anyway, we did the song, and it came out very nice. And another act that was down there, she joined in with us. Remember, she sang the harmonies on it. It was very nice. Yeah. And then within a year, our friend passed away. So this goes out to Tracy and her dad.
And you'll know it.
Gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna make a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bags, got my reservation. Spend each time I could afford. Like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that horn. Seven, that's the time we leave at 7. I'm waiting up for heaven. I'm counting every mile of the railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so young. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey home. Ba, 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 I've been waiting up for heaven. I'm counting every mile of the railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart would be so young. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey home. Sentimental journey home.
Yes. We've added a new song to our repertoire. Are you ready to do it? Sure. We haven't done it live at all. We've only been working on it for a couple of weeks.
I got it. Here we go. You ready? I'm sure you're ready.
What you're about and feel like stepping out. All you gotta shout is let me off of town. It's rhythm that you feel and nothing to conceal. All you gotta feel is let me off of town. Will you join? You join. Have joined. Gotta go to top it. Wanna pitch a ball and can't afford a hall. All it's gotta call is let me off of town. You join, have joined. Well, the fella gotta go to top it. If you wanna pitch a ball and can't afford a hall, all you gotta call is let me off of town. All you gotta call is let me off of town.
Good work.
Nancy with the Laughing Face, I think you guys probably know that. I guess Frank Sinatra was really associated with the tune because of his daughter Nancy. But there's a backstory that's kind of interesting. It actually originally was not Nancy with the Laughing Face. And Phil Silvers, the comedian, Sergeant, Phil Silvers wrote the lyric to this. And who was it, Johnny Burke?
I think so.
Yeah. Anyway,
Jimmy Van Heusen.
Jimmy Van Heusen and Johnny Burke.
And Phil Silvers.
And well, the way it goes is they were working on a film, and they were on the lot, and Phil Silvers kind of strolls in and says, "Hey, you know, it's I guess it's Johnny's wife's birthday. Her name was Betsy. So let's write a song for Betsy." So they came up with Betsy with the Laughing Face, and there was going to be a party. And they were going to perform the song at the party and debut it. But they get to the party, and it's pretty clear that there are luminaries. There's Sinatra's there, everybody's there. And so they do what songwriters have to think on their feet. And so they said, Betsy, Nancy, same number of syllables, little thing. So they changed it to Nancy with the Laughing Face, and they performed it as Nancy. And they saw that Frank was just visibly moved by the whole thing. So they went up to Frank afterwards and they said, "You know, Frank, we wrote that just for you." If I don't see her each day, I miss her. Jane wouldn't know each time I kiss her. Believe me, I've got a gaze on Nancy with the Laughing Face. She takes the winter and makes it summer. Summer could take some lessons from her. Picture a tomboy. That's Nancy with the Laughing Face. Did you ever hear mission bells ringing? Well, she'll give you that very same glow. When she speaks, you would think it was singing. Just hear same love. I swear to goodness, you can't resist her. Sorry for you, she has no sister, no angel to replace my Nancy with a Laughing Face. Well, she'll give you that very same glow. When she speaks, you would think it was singing. Just to hear her say love. I swear to goodness, you can't resist her. Sorry for you, she has no sister, no angel to replace great song.
Yeah, he's still in my heart. So we are songwriters as well as performers of other people's songs. And we spent years, we lived in LA, we wrote songs for famous people, we lived the life.
Great.
So we moved back east, earthquakes, sick of the music business, and my mom, 3 good reasons to move
We weren't
back.
sick of her mom helped us.
Commas save lives. So no, we weren't sick of my mom. So we moved back there, and Roger got a job. He actually got a straight job, which we hadn't done in about 10 years, because we've been writing songs for people. And I mean, we still have royalties coming in, but he also wanted to be away from the music business, and he wanted to be a lawyer. He got a degree in paralegal sciences, and he went to work for a lawyer, and they loved him, and they wanted him to go to law school, and they would pay for it. Yeah, it was a lovely choice. And yet, here we are. We thought about it for about a year, and he worked for them for about 5 years, and then he just said, you know, if I go to law school, I'll never see my wife, I won't do music anymore, and I won't be happy, and I'll be the end of my life, and I won't have done music, which is, obviously, he's meant to do music. So we had to figure out, what are we going to do? Lawyer, money, never see, music, back and forth for a year. How do we decide? And finally one day I said, you know, when animals make life decisions, they don't make decisions, they just go with their gut, and somehow they don't overthink it, and animals survive. So we picked some animals to frame our decision after. Yeah, it was a good idea, right? And yet,
Seemed to have worked out.
it seems to have worked out. Here we are happy. So we wrote this song to help us work it out. We picked amphibians as our animal of choice to help us make this decision. Could go any way. So here it is. 2 little frogs on a lily pad, trying to make it feel like home. He says, hey baby, we got it made. She says, oh, come on and leave me alone. Oh, 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 we ain't got no flies to eat. How will we ever survive? He says, baby, we got what we need. You know, love will keep us alive. We got simple needs. We got simple needs. Ah, simple needs, my well, what are you talking about? You see the hawk up in the sky. Now how will we ever protect ourselves? He's watching us with hungry eyes, and he says, don't overcomplicate it, 'cause you know where that leads to. This ain't no film noir like Sweet Green, just hide with me beneath the beat. We got simple needs. We got simple needs. We could be happy if we jump into the void. Let's take a chance and dance upon our little asteroid.
it start tasting their breath away. It kinda makes you wonder why, oh why life gets so complicated. Well, it's hard to get from A to B. In the techno forest, you got to look real hard to see. We got simple needs. We got simple needs. Oh, 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 yeah.
And so here we are. You guys familiar with Kurt Elling? That's okay. I think he just won a Grammy or got a nomination.
Another one?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's a jazz singer, a really remarkable jazz singer. I mean, his technique is, his range is like the size of Montana, very high to very low, and his skill. So tell about this album. Oh, and Nancy, also, Nancy.
Is on that album.
Yeah.
Well, years ago, I think probably in the 50s, there was an album that came out with John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. And it was a really great album. And so Kurt Elling decided that he wanted to redo the album, but not, you know, it's a fine line, because they wanted to pay respects to the album and the original artist. And they didn't want to screw it up too much. They didn't want to make it some ridiculous thing. And so they did an incredible job of re-recording those songs. And it stands on its own as a modern album, but also pays wonderful tribute to the original. So anyway, yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything, but he'll do it.
okay.
Okay.
They say that falling in love is wonderful, wonderful. So they say. The thing that's known as romance is wonderful, wonderful. So they tell me. I hear them all who said it. I know I never read it. I only know they tell me that love is real. There's some moon up above, it's wonderful, wonderful in every way. So they say,
foxtrots?
Foxtrots.
That's
All
that.
those songs of the 30s and 40s?
Well, this is from that. You want to do that?
Sure.
Sugar. So sugar has, first of all, we're always on the road. Well, not only in the last 2 years, but in general, we're on the road and we get stuck in traffic and we end up on all kinds of roads. And there's this one road in Connecticut that we have gotten stuck on many times. And one time we were there very, very, I think it's 391 or 691, very late at night. We were driving home from a gig. And you know, late at night you get really cool radio stations. This was a while ago.
Sure, Radio Mars. And
Radio Mars.
It's just all sorts of things.
So we heard this song and we'd never heard it before, and we thought, wow. And we heard it when Peggy Lee was singing it. And you know, oftentimes you hear something say, oh, I'm going to remember that, I got it, da, da, da. This was easy to remember because at the time, this might be too much information, TMI coming at you. At the time I was having physical issues and I had to stop all sugar. And this song was called Sugar, so it was pretty easy to remember. Since it took me about 5 years to get over all those medical issues, and now, as Kayla said, he was hearing our menu for Thanksgiving, he said, so you're eating sugar now? Oh yes, I am eating sugar now. But anyway, and so that's one part of it. And part of what I was struggling with physically was sort of an immune disorder. So all of a sudden, I developed an allergy to bees. I got a little sting, well, it wasn't a little, it was a sting by a yellow jacket, like right up here, and my ankle swelled up enormously. And so I did the test, and yes, I'm allergic to bees, so I had to get shots for 3 years. It worked, or when I resolved my physical issues, it resolved my immune. In any case, sugar, bees. All part of this song. Sugar, I call my baby my sugar. I never made me my sugar. Sugar baby of mine. He's grinding funny. He never asked for my money. And all that I give him is honey that he can't get any time. Oh, I'd make a million trips to his lips if I were a bee, because he's sweeter than sugar candy to me. He's confectionery sugar. Oh, I never cheat on my sugar, 'cause I'm so sweet on my sugar. That sugar baby of mine. Baby, because he's sweeter than sugar candy to me. He's confectionery sugar. Oh, I never cheat on my sugar, 'cause I'm so sweet on my sugar. That sugar baby of mine. He's my sweet sugar. Well, he's so sweet, he's sweeter than candy. He's so sweet, he's sweeter than sugar, but I gotta have him now.
fight. Wanna have another slide. Gotta have a sweet, 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 sweet sugar. Oh, that sugar baby of mine.
I wonder what it was. So on that same road in Connecticut, another time we're stuck in traffic. And we're not coming home from a gig, we're on our way to a gig, and we're late. And I keep saying, Roger, change lanes. That lane's moving. We're not, change lanes. So he would change lanes. Then of course that lane would stop. Change back, Raj! And he just did it because it was easier than arguing. But at a certain point I kind of realized that it was futile. We just had to go with it and get to the gig later. Whatever it was, we were going to survive it. Especially in the light of things that were happening in the world. It's so weird out there. This was around 9/11. And it just felt like, what are we worried about? We've got life. So we decided to write a little song just to pass the time, so I would stop bugging him and we wouldn't be all tense. So we said, let's write a song about being stuck in traffic. And we started, it was just a little ditty, it was kind of fun. But then we started thinking about everything that was going on around in the world, and we decided our little trivial problems were nothing. So we dedicate this song to people who have come across great adversity and somehow found a way to drive on. I've been driving for so many years, changing lanes and shifting gears, looking for some answers or maybe a little fun. Well, I ain't particular, oh no, I'd settle for either one. I can drive an automatic, and I can drive a standard shift, but no matter where I go, it still comes down to this. I got to drive on, drive on, drive on, drive on. I've been a lot of places, from here to Baton Rouge. I've seen a lot of faces that look like they've nothing left to lose. Well, some of them were nasty, and some of them were sweet. One thing they had in common, though, they were living in defeat. Took all their disappointments and they put them on the list. But all that I could say is it comes down to this. You got to drive on, our nation shall endure. Hitler killed 6 million, but his evil would not stand. Dr. King had a dream, let freedom ring throughout this land. Now every generation stands upon a precipice. In the darkest of the darkness, still comes down through rhythm. Gonna find a way to just drive on. No matter what they say, we're gonna drive on. We're gonna find a better day if we just drive on. So this is another one of our songs, and we wrote this song with a friend of ours. She's a brilliant lyricist, and we would write a lot of our own lyrics, but she has a very special gift of distilling things into songs. But I mean, it's hard. You don't want it to be trite, and you want it to be of value and have meaning. So Margot, her name is Margot Shepard, and she had seen a TV special about this town in Nicaragua where they had a bunch of deaf kids and they didn't have any sign language for these kids, but they had to do something. They couldn't keep them in school because they couldn't teach them, so they put them in a facility that wasn't quite a school because they couldn't teach them, but they took care of their physical needs, and these kids and they ranged in age from young to teens to 17, and the kids had such a need to communicate that they invented their own sign language. And it wasn't just, hi, I'm hungry, hello, goodbye, sleep. It was nuanced with syntax and depth and any other adjective you could think of. Nuancy stuff. So Margot wanted to write a song about it, and I thought, well, they'll never hear it. But Margot said, yeah, but we'll tell their story. So we wrote the song with her, and it's called Nicaraguan Sign. Nicaragua, there were children who never heard. They were deaf in a silent world, had no language, no Spanish words. Gathered together, they started to thrive in a schoolhouse. Their gestures came alive. They created their own language, head and heart and mind. Nicaraguan sign, created their own language, head and heart and mind. There were old ones, there were young ones, all exchanging the signs they knew, rich in syntax, rich in meaning. Every day their new language grew, gathering power like waves to the shore.
language. Hands and hearts and mind. Oh, it's good. I must win inside. They created their own language. Hands and hearts. Ellos construyeron su propio lenguaje. They created their own language. Hands and hearts and mind. Oh, it's good. I must win inside. They created their own language. Hands and hearts and mind. They created their own language.
This is another one of our songs. It's just is working out this way. Usually it's better when he sings more, but it's just working out this way. We never have a set list, so we just, this is how it goes. And, you know. So we lived in LA for 15 years. Was it 15? Yeah. And for about 8 of them, we had a really good run as songwriters, writing for really big names and stuff. But in that time period, we also struggled because, I mean, I suppose it's similar in any field that people want acceptance, and you have to say, how far will I go to get to my goal? And it's easy to get into all kinds of bad stuff in LA when you're in the music scene. And when it's a couple and you come home from a writing session and the professional manager has thrown lyrics in your face and then disregards that song, and then it gets recorded by Teddy Pendergrass, you get frustrated because they're supposed to be the ones doing that. But we couldn't even bounce off each other because both of us were so angry and unhappy, but wanting to do music, and how do you balance it out? We left, and we're happily doing music. But it was hard to stay, at that time, that era for us, it was hard to stay true to our goal of just making good music. So when we made our second album, this was a title cut called True. She's always been true, but sometimes from a different angle, keeping track of her instincts, even on a road less traveled, a misfit any place or time. Outcast trying to toe the line, but she stays true, like believing in Jesus. Stripped of all her possession, losing touch with that sacred power, like Job when he could get no words, even when he thought he was cursed, he stayed true. Like a rose in decaying road, and everything she's ever known is worth nothing, nothing without a been nice getting to know you guys. Hi.
Hi.
You're new.
When you were talking about how difficult it was to stay true to yourself in Los Angeles, it reminded me of a woman who lives here in Bourne, who was in her 20s, a pretty successful international model based in New York, and she went to LA. She lasted about 3 months there. She couldn't stand it.
It's really not easy. You know, people think that LA is so laid back, and you know, and the myth. It's not.
No.
You know, I mean, I have a theory that the reason there's so many problems in LA is that there's so many people who go there chasing an impossible dream, and most of them will not realize their dreams. You know, and so it makes for a very frustrated population.
And we did get to realize our dream. And we had songs on the radio. We had big people knowing our songs. And yet,
Yeah, it's just, you know, because you know, we're about the music. We're not about how many records you sell. Although we've sold millions of records as songwriters, but that wasn't the target for us. The target for us is writing good songs, and that's not easily done, you know, in that kind of a market, you know.
I think for her, she had the modeling work, but the distractions that were, and the lifestyle that she was surrounded by was just not her style.
Yeah.
well, we survived 15 years.
Yeah. But now, you know, now we write music for film as well as doing this, which is a totally different thing. And
We got an award.
Okay.
Best, what was it? What's the award?
Best original score.
Best original score for a short in an Italian international film festival.
Oh, wow.
Which just happened in the last week.
And it's, you know, and we feel lucky to be able to do that. And creatively, it's just much better than being stuck in a box, you know. And so
we try to.
We made the right choice.
Yeah.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You find your fortune falling all over town. Make sure that your umbrella is upside down. Save it for a package of sunshine and flowers. 'Cause if you want the things you love, ooh, you must have showers. So when you hear that thunder, no, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies forever for you and me. Why don't you save me for a package of sunshine and flowers? 'Cause if you want the things you love, oh, you must have showers. So when you hear that thunder, oh no, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies forever for you and me. Do you? Why don't you save it for a package of sunshine and flowers? 'Cause if you want the things you love, oh, you must have showers. So when you hear
One, a local agency, part of a state agency, for supporting our concert and all the other things we do, and to the library. I want to thank Kiara Kamadima for the stellar planning. Terry for helping us put this together. We do have CDs, but we didn't bring them. You can hire things online. We're gonna keep on going. You can go to our website too, even online. You can go to our website too, even online. We have CDs and the soundtrack for the film that we just got awarded is also available. So, to humanonline.com. Thank you, Roger Bruno, my talented, wonderful husband. There'll be pen